Welcome back to So Many Activities with Kurt and Tanya. Obviously, I'm Kurt. Okay, today we're going to be covering a Moroccan beef stew with yellow rice, and Tanya will be covering a pumpkin spice banana pudding recipe. We're going to start with 3 pounds of stew meat. It doesn't have to be stew meat. It can be chuck roast. It can be pretty much any type of meat like that if you want. We're on a budget, so we purchase what's on sale. Okay. The other ingredients we're going to cover: 3 tablespoons of all-purpose flour, 1 teaspoon of black pepper, 2 teaspoons of salt, 2 tablespoons of olive oil, 1 teaspoon of paprika, a half teaspoon of ground coriander, half teaspoon of turmeric, a half teaspoon of ground cumin, half teaspoon of ground ginger, and a 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne pepper. I actually like to use more because I like it spicier, but we're preparing this for family. We're going to have 4 stalks of celery, 2 medium onions, 2 teaspoons of garlic powder or 4 cloves, depending on how you use it, 2 cups of beef broth, 1 pound of tomatoes that are halved. You can use any type of tomato you want as long as you cut it up into the chunks that you like, 1 pound of baby carrots, and a half a container of harissa adobo sauce for the spicy. First, we're going to prepare the 3 pounds of beef. Basically, we have the beef chunked up. We're going to add our 3 tablespoons of flour, our salt and pepper, and we're going to heat up I love using cast iron, it works so much better. So we're going to go ahead and turn this on. Heat up our pan. Drizzle in the olive oil. Next, what we're going to do is I'm going to get a lid. And it's so much easier to actually coat the beef by just using a lid and mixing it all together. So I just take the meat, covered bowl, mix it all up. Make sure everything's coated nice and good. We'll wait until the pan is heated. It's getting there. We want to sizzle. We just want to sear the meat, hold in the flavor. We're not cooking this all the way through. We got the 3 pounds of beef in here. We're just gonna let it sear up. You can actually break this up into smaller cooking batches, but I don't want to. And next we're gonna go ahead and dice up our vegetables. I'm gonna start with the celery. I've already washed them and rinsed and washed them, cleaned them up, so make everything quicker. So we're gonna go ahead and just dice these up. Using these new knives, we're gonna go ahead and send a link in the description box for these knives. They work real well. All right. We're just gonna go ahead and dice up these onions. I like to chop them up into rustic pieces. It's all gonna cook down in the stew anyways, so you're not gonna get any huge chunks. It'll all cook down. Next, we're gonna go ahead and just quarter these tomatoes. If you want to have them, you can have them. Yeah, let's go ahead and half these. They'll cook down also. Now that our veggies are all chopped up and our meat has been browned, we don't want to cook the meat all the way through. We're just kind of searing it to lock in the flavor. It's going to cook, and we don't want it to toughen up in the one pot that we are in the pressure cooker that we use. You can use a Dutch oven also, but because of it takes a lot of time to do it that way, and I just like to put it in the pressure cooker, could push a couple of buttons, and once that's done, then we're finished. So the next step is we'll go ahead and put this all in the pressure cooker, and we'll start the process. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and start adding our ingredients. We have the 2 cups of beef broth, 3 pounds of cubed stew meat, 2 medium onions, 4 stalks of celery, and 1 pound of cherry tomatoes. Okay, actually one of the ingredients that I almost forgot to put in is 1 pound of baby carrots. And we just add in our dry spices, ginger, turmeric, paprika, cumin, coriander, cayenne pepper. Now we have all of our spices in, we're going to go ahead for our crock pot pressure cooker. We're going to select meat and stew. We're going to go ahead and seal it up and make sure that the steam is in the off position. It's going to go ahead and heat. It's set for 35 minutes. Now that the stew is done cooking, we're going to go ahead, and the last step for this portion is to add the harissa sauce. It is an adobo sauce, gives it the spice. So we're just going to, there's about 4 ounces left in this container, so we're just going to go ahead and pour it in. Stir it in. Okay, welcome back. Now we're going to cover the yellow rice portion of this meal. First, we're going to start with 4 tablespoons of oil, 4 teaspoons of minced garlic, 2 small onions finely chopped, 3 teaspoons of turmeric, 2 cups of rice, 3 cups of chicken broth, 1 red bell pepper, 1 squeezed lemon, and chopped parsley to garnish. Mixture. Again, I like the rustic cut. It'll cook down. We're going to go ahead and continue with the onion. Again, I use rough rustic chops. These knives are so much better than my other ones, so much sharper. Now we're going to go ahead and finally dice up this parsley, and it's basically just for a garnish. So once we're done here, we'll go ahead and put this aside till the end. Olive oil, onion, we're gonna let this saute until the onions are translucent. Stirring them around every once in a while, get that beef flavor from the meat that we cooked prior. Once the onions are almost translucent, then we're going to add the garlic. You don't want to add the garlic too soon, because if garlic burns, it gets very bitter. Now that the onions are almost translucent, we're going to go ahead and add in our garlic. Stir it around until the garlic starts to turn just a little bit. You don't want it too much. Now that the onions and red bell peppers are cooked, I'm going to go ahead and add that to our pressure cooker. Get as much of that ingredients as you can in there. Perfect. Then we want to add our 2 cups of rice. Our 3 cups of chicken broth. Our turmeric. Squeeze of a half a lemon. Great. Now we'll just go ahead and cover the pressure cooker up. Set it for the rice setting. I actually add 3 more minutes, make it 15 minutes. Start. Make sure that the steam is in the off position, and we'll continue when the rice is done.
Hi everybody, it's my turn for the my segment of the video. Today I'm doing pumpkin spice banana pudding. I'm going to be making my regular banana pudding and my version of it with the pumpkin spice, adding a little fall flavor to it. The ingredients are a 15-ounce can of pure pumpkin, a 1/3 cup of dark brown sugar, 2 tablespoons of pure maple syrup, a 1/4 cup of unsweetened apple juice, 1 1/2 teaspoons of lemon juice, 1 1/4 teaspoons of pumpkin pie spice, and 1/4 teaspoon of ground cinnamon, and then a pinch of salt. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this burner on. Okay, so I'm going to combine all these ingredients. So I've got my pumpkin here. Got this like on a medium heat. Just make sure we get all that goodness out of there. Alright. Got our apple juice, our dark brown sugar. Alrighty. Got, let's see, 2 tablespoons of pure maple syrup. I just picked up this small bottle, Cracker Barrel, the last time I was there, because it's expensive. Alrighty, and I've got my pumpkin pie seasoning, my cinnamon. I need 1 1/2 teaspoon of lemon juice. I'm just trying to do this right. And a half. Alrighty. And then just a little pinch of salt. Stir this together. It is already to a boil, so I'm going to turn it down to a simmer. And then once that's down to a simmer, we're going to let that cook for about 20 minutes, stirring occasionally. You don't want to let it burn. And then after 20 minutes, we'll taste it, see if we need to add anything to it. I think this is the recipe I did last year, and I thought it was perfectly fine, but we will try it here in about 20 minutes and see how it tastes. Okay, so our pumpkin butter is done, and it was actually pretty good, and need to make any changes. What I like to do is put them in these little mason jars. The recipe I gave you will make 2 or 3 of these. I'm just keeping one for myself. It goes great on French toast, just regular toast. You can put it just on anything. So what we have left over is a cup, and this is what we're actually going to put in our banana pudding. In the meantime, while that's cooling down, we're going to go ahead and make the pudding part of our dessert. And we're going to just take a regular box of instant vanilla pudding. This is the 3.4 ounce size. And you're just going to follow the instructions. The instructions on the box are just to put the vanilla pudding and the mix and the 2 cups of very cold milk together, and then you just whip it for about 2 minutes, and it usually firms up pretty quick. And then we'll put that back in the fridge. So let me just get this going here. Okay, while our vanilla pudding is chilling, I am going to beat cream cheese, and you want to make sure it's softened at room temperature. It's easier to work with that way. And we also are going to combine our sweetened condensed milk. So we're going to put in this package, put that in the bowl. And we're going to take our sweetened condensed milk, pour that over the top. I'm going to need a spatula because it's pretty thick. And just get all that out of there. And what we're going to do is we're going to whip these 2 components together. Okay, now that we've got our cream cheese and sweetened condensed mix put together, I'm going to add the vanilla pudding. We're just going to fold it in. We want to be real gentle with it. We're just going to fold in that vanilla pudding. I'm going to fold that in first. Just fold it in. And then we're going to add our pumpkin to it, our little pumpkin spice butter. And fold that in with the vanilla and the cream cheese mixture. And that's going to make our boring banana pudding into a decadent fall dessert. And we just fold that in, just let it swirl in there. And now we're going to build our banana puddings. You can do a trifle dish. I like to do these little individual banana puddings and give them away because Kurt and I don't need them hanging around the house. Trying to watch our waistline. So I get these little, you can get mini or regular size for the little dessert cups. I do the mini. For a trifle, I do the full size. And here's a little snobbery fact. Vanilla is the only way to go. We are vanilla wafer snobs, so we tried store brand and other brands, and we are certain that that is the best brand. So we're gonna go ahead, put our vanilla wafers in there, put a dollop of that banana pudding in there, put in a few more vanilla wafers, some bananas, and then maybe a little bit more pudding. If you like a lot of bananas, put more bananas in. This recipe has about 4 bananas. And then we're gonna take some Cool Whip. You could do homemade, but I like a quick and easy recipe. So we're gonna put some Cool Whip on there. Just kind of make it swirly and pretty. And then I made these quick and easy candied pecans earlier. Now I'm just gonna throw those on top. And that is our dessert. I'm gonna put a little lid on here. Oops, I overfilled it a little bit, but you get the idea. Anyway, that is your pumpkin spiced banana pudding.